Welcome to our Yin Yoga session. This is going to be a 1-hour session of Yin Yoga, very relaxing yoga with long held poses, 2 to 6, 10 minutes. We are holding the poses and it's going to be a relatively gentle session. Yin Yoga is great any time of the day. It really helps to focus on breathing, a meditative state, to let go of stress, worry. So it's a good yoga to practice any time of the day, or what's really helpful in the evening before you go to sleep if you feel like you have trouble sleeping or relaxing. I always use essential oil before my sessions. So today I've chosen Serenity. Serenity is a little roller bottle with oils that calm the nerves and calm the mind. So I find that's a really good complement to the Yin Yoga relaxation session that we are attempting today. So I always put that on the inside of my arms, on my neck. Let's have a little roll on the hands too. You don't have to do this if you don't have oil at home. Nice deep inhalation if you do. For this session, I have rolled up a blanket as a replacement for a yoga bolster. If you have a yoga bolster at home, that's fine, but I don't have one at the moment. So a rolled up blanket is a good replacement. Also, I've got a couple of rolled up towels as a replacement for a meditation cushion to have a bit of elevation under the seat, so you could have those. And I also have a cushion here for relaxation and as a yoga prop. You can have your bottle of water. And make sure you can be warm enough. In Yin Yoga we don't move around all that much, so you can get cold, especially in New Zealand. We're going into summer here, so it's nice and warm. It's midday here, so it's very sunny and I can't see very well in the sun, so I'm just wearing my glasses just for now. I take them off in a minute. So let's come into a seat, any seat that feels comfortable for you. You can sit cross-legged like me with something underneath your seat to have a bit of elevation, or you could sit flat on the floor, or legs long against the wall with your back, or you could also sit kneeling with a dowel in between your legs. So whichever feels good on your mat. And you can come into your meditation pose, closing the eyes, softening the face. Your hands can just be naturally resting on your legs, or you can bring your thumbs and index fingers together, palms facing up or down into Anya Chin Mudra, or the Buddha hands, right hand on top of the left, the thumbs together. Whichever hand position feels right for you, bring your hands into that. And if you like, you can have 3 changing breaths, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the open mouth. Helps to release stress and tension. And transitioning into your yogic nasal breathing, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose if it's accessible. If you have a blocked nose for some reason, you can breathe any way that's comfortable, but if you can, breathing in and out through the nose. We're working on extending the breath. Most people do relatively shallow chest breathing, so we are trying to transition into a deeper belly breath. Inhaling a bit deeper, exhaling a bit longer. So just taking a few moments to tune in with your breath. Noticing how the chest is rising and lowering, belly moving in and out. observing how you're feeling today. Do you feel stressed, relaxed, anxious, depressed? Whatever is there for you, just observing what is there. Just allowing yourself to arrive within your own body and your own space on your yoga mat. Allowing all the external distractions, stimulations to drop away slowly. Noticing how your physical body feels today. Are there any aches, pains, discomforts in your body, scanning from head to toe? Observing what is present in the body. Softening into those places if you can, directing the breath there. Where there's tension, pain. Being mindful that your spine is nice and elevated, long and strong, the chest beautiful and open, shoulders rolled slightly up and backwards, neck aligned with the spine. Noticing if your face is soft and relaxed, consciously relaxing forehead, eyebrows, eyes. Relaxing the teeth, the jaw, having a bit of distance between your teeth. Taking a few moments to notice what your emotional state is, which emotions are predominant for you at the moment. Just noticing, no judgment. Tuning in with your senses, sense of hearing, observing noises outside, inside, around you, wherever you are. And allowing those noises to drop into the background. Just focusing on your breath, being present for yourself. Noticing any smells. Noticing sense of touch. Your legs are touching the floor, the prop, seat. Perhaps touching your bolster, your meditation cushion. Hair touching around your face, hands touching your legs. Noticing how the withdrawn sense of sight feels your closed eyes. Is there comfort, discomfort with this? In my personal practice, I find a lot of comfort by just closing the eyes and breathing deeply and consciously. Helps me to relax immediately, arriving within my body. If you like, you can take a moment bringing your hands together in front of your heart space. And I invite you, if you want to set an intention for your practice or make a dedication to yourself or someone else. Taking a few moments to think about your intention, dedication, and placing it in your heart space. ready, you can release the hands back to your legs and just gently starting movement by rolling our necks out towards the right, back, left and front. All movements are slow and gentle in Yin Yoga. There's no hurry. There's nothing to achieve really. We're just gently exploring flexibility of the body, ability of the body. Noticing what rotation is available in your neck. And switching direction towards left, back, right and front. Making sure the spine is still long and strong. Chest wide and open. Breath deep and conscious. Coming back to center with your neck. Releasing the arms loosely by your side, allowing them to just hang. And rolling the shoulders forwards, upwards, backwards, downwards. So it's a very slow and conscious rotation of the shoulder joints, exploring that full rotation. Breath is nice and deep. If you feel like exhaling through the open mouth, go for it. It usually releases a lot of tension. We can hold quite a bit of tension in neck and shoulders. So those two are quite a standard movement for me in the beginning of any session I do. And switching direction forwards with the shoulder rolls. Coming back to center. Let's do a little spinal release as well, bringing the hands onto our legs. And the hands can slide back and forth on your legs. We are coming into a seated cat and cow. On the exhalation, we are tucking our chin in towards the chest and rounding the spine. So making yourself nice and round. Hands sliding away towards your knees. On the inhalation, hands are sliding in towards pelvis. And the chest is coming forwards. Tailbone and neck releasing backwards. Nice open chest. Exhaling, tucking chin in, rounding the back. Hands sliding towards knees, inhaling. Chest releases forwards, neck, tailbone, backwards. Exhaling, hands sliding forwards towards knees, tucking chin and rounding the spine. Inhaling, chest forwards, shoulders, neck, tailbone, backwards. Just carry on in your own time. A few more times. Moving the spine back and forth. Your eyes can be closed anytime. When you feel comfortable with those movements, really focusing on the sensations in your own body. And coming back to center. You can open your eyes and you can move your towels or meditation cushion aside, whatever you have there. And we are going to transition into a Hatha pose. So we are walking our big toes towards the back edge of the mat. Knees are aligned with the hips. So the knees are directly underneath the hips. The hands are forwards from the shoulders. So we keep that alignment of knees and hips during the whole pose. The toes are nice and flat on the mat. Hands are walking forwards and you slide them pretty much away and bring the forehead to the mat, releasing shoulders and chest down towards the mat. Your arms can be either extended. If that is too much for your shoulders, if there's pain or discomfort, you can bring the hands in towards the elbows and rest your forehead on forearms. Or you can bring in your yoga bolster or the blankets underneath the shoulders to support. So finding a comfortable support for your Anahat pose. You can also place a cushion underneath the forehead. So making sure you're nice and comfortable. Holding that pose for about 2 to 3 minutes. Tuning back in with your breath. Breathing nice and deep. Softening through the shoulder area, through the heart space, finding a sense of elevation through the tailbone. Fingers can be spread if you have the arms extended. It's a beautiful heart opening, shoulder opening pose and a head pose. Counterposing the rounding in our spines. Holding for a few more breaths if you can. You can always readjust to bring the hands to your elbows and rest the forehead and the forearms. Or release the pose if it's too strong altogether into a child's pose. Tucking the arms in by the legs. But if you can, hold for another few moments. Then on your next exhalation, you can slowly, gently walk your hands inwards towards the shoulders, walking your big toes together and the knees apart. You can sit back towards your heels, releasing your hands alongside your legs into a child pose for just a few moments, releasing shoulders, completely relaxing the body, letting go of any engagement. And focuses on a deep conscious breath still. Inhaling deeply, exhaling slow and steady. From here we're going to walk our arms forwards once more and coming into a side stretch. So we're walking the hands up and over towards the right side. We're bending our right arm from the elbow, and you can use the right forearm to rest your forehead. The left arm is reaching up and over towards the right side, stretching the whole left side body here. The seat is relaxed towards your heels. If you're finding it hard to sit back towards your heels, you can always use a bolster or planky underneath your seat if you need a bit more elevation there. So feel free to do that if it's needed. You can walk those left fingertips up and over towards the right a bit more. As your body softens, releases into that side stretch, breathing deeply into your left lung, finding a bit more space in between the left ribs. Each exhalation, you soften a bit more, release a bit more. Each inhalation, bringing a bit more space in between the ribs. Growing taller, longer. On the inhale, releasing, softening on the exhale. Next inhalation, we're coming back to center and walking out towards the left this time. We are bending our left forearm from the elbow, and you can rest your forehead on your left forearm. The right arm is reaching up and over towards the left, stretching nice and long for that whole right side body from your hips to your fingertips. Softening for that right shoulder downwards towards the mat. On the inhalation, you breathe deep into that right lung, finding a bit more space between your ribs. Softening the right seat down towards your heel. Walking maybe the right fingertips forwards a bit more. Exhaling, softening into that stretch. In those poses where we switch sides, you always observe how one side feels compared to the other. Next inhalation, slowly, gently coming back to center. Just bringing hands to elbows and resting for a moment in a child's pose with both arms towards center, or you can wrap them around the side, resting forehead on the mat or looking out towards the side. And then bringing hands back underneath shoulders, pushing yourself up. And bring the blankie back here. So the hands are now underneath the shoulders and the feet are still flat on the mat. The pelvis can either be aligned or the hips aligned with the knees, or you can stay seated backwards. We come into a shoulder stretch, thread the needle pose. So we're bringing our right arm up and under the left arm, bringing the right shoulder onto the mat. The right palm of the hand is facing up towards the ceiling. The left arm can reach up and over, or it can be relaxed, or it can be wrapped up around your lower back, grabbing your right thigh. So whatever feels good. You can also start with the arm up and over your head and then later on relax it and wrap it. So whatever feels good. The tailbone can be nice and up towards the ceiling, or you can sit back towards your heels. It doesn't matter so much. It's about the extension of the right shoulder. So we are stretching the right upper shoulder here. Breath is deep. You can close your eyes and again just tuning into your body and observing where you feel this stretch, this movement the most, how it feels in your body. Is it challenging? Is it easy? We never want to experience pain in our yoga practice, so if there's pain, we can just come into a relaxing pose, seated pose, lying pose, whatever feels good. Sometimes it can feel good to place a cushion underneath that right shoulder to bring a bit more softness into the stretch, a bit more comfort, so you can absolutely do that. Each time you come into a new pose, you again tune in with your deep conscious yogic nasal breathing, inhaling deeply through the nose, exhaling slowly from the nose. Each exhalation, you allow your body to soften into that stretch and extension. Few more breaths here. Always remember you can release sooner when instructed. You always want to listen to your own body. We are all entirely individual beings, physically, mentally. Always listen to your own intuition guidance first of all. Next exhalation, bringing that left hand back onto the mat and pushing into your left hand, bringing yourself slowly and gently back to center. And we're switching sides from here. We are bringing now the left arm up and under. And the right arm can reach up and over your head with the palm resting on your mat, or it can be relaxed by your side, or it can be wrapped up and around your lower back. It's a stretch of our left shoulder this time, left outer shoulder. As mentioned before, you can place a cushion underneath that left shoulder if you need more comfort and softness there. You can adjust the placement of your right arm anytime up and over your head, relaxed, wrapped around the lower back, tuning in with your deep conscious breath. Again, observing how this side feels compared to the other side. Is there any difference in extension, flexibility, ease? Never putting any judgment on the movements, just accepting, working with what's possible, available in your body at this moment. Each exhalation softening into the pose. Next exhalation, we're bringing the right hand back to the mat, pushing into the right hand and slowly bringing left hand arm back in. From here, we are going to transition into a Sphinx pose, walking our hands forwards and releasing the belly onto the mat. You can bring in your yoga ball, your blanket if you like, for underneath the shoulders or chest. I have to watch out for my mic there. I hope it doesn't crunch along. So with your hands, you can have the hands flat in the mat or interlaced on prayer, or you can support your face with your hands, which is my favorite. The toes are nice and relaxed. Might actually shuffle forwards a little bit so they can be fully free. The legs can be wide apart, close together, whatever feels natural to you. You really want to release in Sphinx pose the pelvis, the lower back into the mat so you can wiggle the pelvis, the lower back just slightly to find that relaxation. We are going to stay in this pose for about 4 to 5 minutes. If it becomes too much, your spine, you can release sooner just lying on your belly on the mat flat. In Sphinx pose, I like to imagine on the inhalation my chest extending sideways, forwards, backwards, really filling those lungs. On the exhalation, I consciously soften and relax my lower back, releasing belly button towards the mat. Sphinx pose is a nice back extension for our spine, stimulating the deepest fascia layer in our body in the lower back. Tuning in with your conscious deep breath. While in Yin Yoga, the physical poses might not be as challenging as in other yoga streams, practices, it can be quite challenging to be still. So observe how your body is responding to this state of non-doing, just being, sitting, with the poses, with the extensions, with the slowness of the practice. And just trusting the practice, trusting your breath, extending your breath. Allowing slowness, relaxation, allowing presence in the moment. Each time you get distracted by your mind, by thoughts, feelings, just bring yourself back to your breath. If you like, you can bring the hands into the mat for a deeper big extension seal pose. You can place your hands in closer towards the body, which gives you a deeper extension. So the closer you walk in your hands towards the body, the deeper the extension, the further you slide them away. Gives you less extension, so just experimenting what feels good for you. Where your hands feel placed in the right way. You're still softening pelvis, belly button towards the mat on the exhalation, inhaling. Breathing deep into the chest, into the lungs. Softening legs, pelvis. If seal pose is too strong for your spine, too much for your body, just stay in Sphinx or release onto your belly, resting. A few more breaths here. If it feels comfortable in your body. releasing back down to Sphinx if you unseal. Just for a moment so the spine can slowly readjust. And releasing fully onto your belly, relaxing the arms by your side. You can look either out towards the left, towards the right, or rest on your forehead. You may want to wiggle the pelvis, the lower back to release any tension, just very slightly, slowly. And just relax into a moment's rest. In Yin Yoga, the resting poses are really important, closing the eyes and still directing the deep conscious breath through your body, moving the chi, the prana, back through the open energy meridians, energy channels, observing the after effects of those long, static held stretches. We're bringing hands back underneath shoulders, chin back to center, coming onto our forearms. And from here we're coming into another pose on our bellies. I just have to watch the microphone a little bit, so I hope it doesn't scratch along my clothes when I talk. So from here we are going to stretch the left arm out long, and our right knee is coming in towards the body. So the right knee sliding in towards the body, left arm nice and long. You can rest your head on the left upper arm. And we bring our right hand to the left foot, right hand to left foot. If you can't reach your left foot, you can use a strap around the foot and hold onto the strap. If you can grab the foot, try and find a nice and loose grip. So we don't want to hold on for the life of us, and we also don't want to pull that heel in too deep, too quickly. So just starting at that place of first resistance where you feel a nice stretch in the left upper leg. So it's always opposite hand to opposite foot. So it's right hand on left foot. And just relaxing into this pose. You can adjust your arm that your head is resting on to be bent. The upper shoulder, the right shoulder, can release backwards into an open chest. If it feels right, you can also release forwards there, whatever feels good. Breathing deep. Nice stretch for our left upper leg. As your body softens, you may be able to gently push that left heel towards your left seat. We're never forceful in Yin Yoga, always slowly, gently. Working with your deep conscious breath. Just softening. The eyes can be closed. I'm a big friend of closed eyes in Yin practice. Once you're on the pose, you don't need necessarily the visual anymore. You just need to relax into the pose. Why we are holding the poses so long in Yin Yoga is that we work not so much on the muscular system, more on the connective tissue and fascia. Connective tissue and fascia takes about 2 minutes to come to its full extension stimulation. At about 4 to 6 minutes, we have got a real good benefit of that stress on the fascia. fascia doesn't stretch technically. We are stressing it, extending it, and we are stimulating the flow of energy through the body, getting rid of stagnancy, moving the lymph, helping the body detoxify. And for our slow and steady breathing, we are slowing the nervous system, we're calming our minds. It's my favorite yoga practice, Yin practice. I think it's really needed in this time and age. And most of our nervous systems are overloaded. So really try and allow yourself to just slow down, relax, release, and be present in the moment while gently stimulating and stretching your body. Last minute in this pose. Observe if you can bring your heel a bit closer to the left seat, left heel closer to the left seat. Only if it's accessible, if it feels right, never being forceful. Maybe see if you want to release that right shoulder backwards or bring it forwards a bit. And slowly and gently you can release your right hand from the left foot, releasing the left foot back. Bringing your right shoulder back forwards and resting on your belly, looking out towards the left side. Arms nice and relaxed. Again, coming into a resting pose, softening the body. Just deep breathing and observing the after effects of a stretch extension. And bringing hands back underneath shoulders, pushing yourself back up for the upper body. We are going to extend the right arm out long and slide the left knee in towards the body. So left knee in towards the body, right arm nice and long, head resting on your right upper arm. The left hand coming to right foot, left hand to right foot, opposite arm, opposite leg. Again, at that place of first resistance, you start holding, so no pushing, pulling. Again, adjust that lower arm that your head is resting on to whatever feels right, and you can release your left shoulder backwards slightly to find that nice open chest. Again, we are attempting 4 minutes here. Releasing, relaxing. Each time you come into a new pose, you want to assess the body, noticing if you need any support. If the holding of the hand and foot is really challenging, you would be better off to have a strap or a towel wrapped around the foot that you can hold on to rather than straining your wrist. Each time you lose your deep conscious breath, you tune back in to that deep breathing. As you come into that more relaxed state, you can also observe what emotions, what inspirations come to your mind or into your feeling space. Noticing what is present for you once you slow down, calm down, and you're present for yourself. Is there anything that you haven't worked through yet? This time can also be a beautiful time to end or finish thought processes, to process emotion, release it. So don't feel like you have to absolutely feel nothing and think nothing. Sometimes when we're so overloaded with things, with information, it can be a nice time to just process, let go, release. Being mindful as your body softens, if you can bring that heel a bit closer to your seat. Right heel a bit closer to right seat. The last few breaths here. You can slowly let go of the right foot, releasing it back down towards the mat. And bringing left hand back to mat and rolling back onto your belly slowly, gently. You're looking out towards the right now for relaxation. Completely resting and relaxing the body. You may want to wiggle the pelvis, the lower back, observing the after effects of a stretch and extension. Breath is still deep and conscious in your resting pose. And slowly and gently bringing hands back underneath shoulders, pushing yourself up. And we are going to relax onto our backs for a back extension. For your back extension, you might want to bring your yoga bolster in or the rolled up blanket. There are a few options as to how you can go about back extension. So one is alongside the spine, the way the yoga mat is rolled, or placing the prop the other way. So I show this way first because it's gentler on the spine. So if you go for this way, you sit right in front of the bolster or the blanket, and you can release the spine up and over, releasing the arms nice and wide. Your legs can be fully folded in butterfly pose with the soles of the feet together, or the legs out long, so you can choose. I usually like to have feet fully or legs fully folded. For a deeper extension, you can place the plankies the other way around, or your bolster, and then release up and over. Again, the pelvis stays connected. Sometimes even that can feel too strong for people. You could just have a flat cushion, or nothing at all, just being flat on the back and just doing your butterfly legs or fully folded legs if that's too much for your spine. So just starting gently, the arms nice and wide, releasing the shoulders into the mat. If you feel like you're overarching for the neck, you could place a cushion underneath your head. And we are aiming to be here for 5 minutes. So making sure you're nice and comfortable. Could also place a cushion underneath your seat or reduce the roll size of the blanket. Tuning in with your deep conscious breath. This is a beautiful pose to really observe your breath coming into your belly, belly raising, lowering, chest moving in and out. Soles of the feet can also support in front of your seat with the knees pointing up towards the ceiling. I haven't done back extensions in a while, so I can really feel that my back is challenged even by the smallish rolled up blanket. So we always need to listen to the body, to the situation. Our bodies can feel different every time we practice. So being respectful of what your body is trying to tell you. If there's great discomfort, pain, you readjust the support. You can pull out the blanket by gently rolling over towards your side or lifting the seat and pushing it down that way. Otherwise, just relax into that extension. If you're in a deeper extension with a blankie sticking out your sides, you can always readjust into placing the blanket alongside the spine, which is a gentler variation of the back extension. It's a nice opening for our chest and shoulders as well. Really relaxing those shoulders up and over the bolster. Last few breaths. Deeply breathing into that belly, exhaling, softening the body into the bolster, into the blankets. Softening the shoulders, softening the face. can roll gently towards your side, pulling the plankies out or pushing them underneath your knees. Rolling back onto your back. And if you like, you can hug the knees into your chest, giving your spine a little roll to counter pose, or just lie flat on the mat quietly for a moment. Whatever feels better. Could also come into a happy baby pose, grabbing soles of the feet from the outside, releasing knees towards the chest and giving your spine a little rock. And from here we're going to transition into a Shavasana, full resting pose. It is really warm here in Greece. It's early afternoon. So lying on your back with the arms nice and relaxed by your side. Feet flopping out towards the side. Face nice and soft. You can let go of the consciousness of your breath now. Softening face, jaw, neck, shoulders, arms and hands fully relaxed. Torso, upper body, organs, pelvis fully relaxed, releasing into the mat. Legs, feet and toes fully relaxed. Just allowing yourself to fully rest for another 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever feels good to you, but really try to stay still in a state of non-doing for a little longer. Thank you for practicing with me. I hope you enjoyed your session. Namaste.